you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Except that it's not Robert Bannon. It's me, cabaret icon, legend, if you will, Robbie Rozelle. And I'm here to celebrate my friend, Robert Bannon. So here's the deal. A year ago, we were sitting in my apartment, and Robert's like, I want to do, I don't know, I should just do something. And we conceived this show sitting on my couch. And 1 year later, 52 weeks later, it's been a mess. It's been a wonderful mess. And I'm so excited to celebrate Robert and all the great things that we've done together this year. He's already laughing backstage because he has no idea what's about to happen. But I'm going to bring him in, and we're going to be idiots for the next hour. So buckle up. Here we go. It's time to celebrate the man, the myth, the Manilow legend, Robert Bannon.
You did not call me. I am a Manilow legend, Robbie Rozelle. Robbie, I'm sweating. I don't like control. I was barking orders in the private chat.
You were. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to let go and let God, Robbie. And that is God.
You're a little mean. You're a little mean. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So Robert, 1 year. Tell everybody who's watching, everybody who's watching later on. Oh, look, here's people are celebrating you. We have so much love for you. It's all coming in. It's pouring in. Here's the thing, guys. I have all the controls. Robert's in as a guest. He didn't even see this background.
No, I love it though. It's, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so tell everybody, how did this start?
Well, the truth, and I told Robbie, I called him before, and I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is that during the pandemic, I had started recording an album that's called Unfinished Business, and I never intended to host a talk show. I never thought of being a talk show host, a podcast host. I don't love social media. I don't love YouTube. My students ask me who my favorite YouTubers are, and I have no answer. I'm not somebody, Robbie. Go ahead, you can judge. You see my face on Instagram all the time, but it's not. It's out of the necessity.
Do you know what I feel like this is right now? I feel like you're giving us one of these.
Give me back my show.
Nope.
During the pandemic, we started a show called Quarantine Cabaret and Cocktails that was meant to be for fun. It was supposed to be in our basement. We were bored. We had nothing to do. We did that show for 52 weeks. That show turned into the Broadway cast reunion series, which we sold to 34 performing arts centers and reunited cast. We made money. It was a business, and then it ended. And it ended for multiple reasons. One, because my co-host didn't want to do it anymore. And B, because we had a different direction of the show. And my intention when I went to Robbie and said, I want to celebrate art, I want to celebrate artists, I think I have something to say, and I think people have something to say, was always to show marginalized communities and people who don't have a voice to have their word put out. And when I was doing the other show, no shade, I would fight for guests that were of color, that were in the queer community, that were trans guests. We were trying to appeal to a mainstream audience that does not appeal to me. So I just took this show and the bull by the horns, and we created the Roundtable, which is a place really for everybody who feels like they have something to say. I did the first episode because Len Evans and Jeff Dorda run Project Publicity, and they had Brandon James Gwynn, who had put out an album, and they said, would you like to have them on? And I said, we don't have a show anymore. And they said, but we have these group. We have Amber Gray. We have these people that want to talk to you. And I went to Robbie and said, do we do a show? And he said, Roundtable, Robert, Roundtable. It's the double R. And 52 weeks later, here we are.
52 weeks later, it's a celebration.
It's a confetti celebration. And Christine Clifton is watching right now from North Carolina with her mother and has watched 52 freaking weeks every single week. There are a crew of people who are here.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you have to create the show every week. And first of all, to new people watching, Robert, what do you do by day?
I'm a 5th grade school teacher in North Bergen, New Jersey.
There it is. And by night?
I'm an international superstar. No, I go to the gym and have
Really?
no, shut up. Shut
No,
up.
because you're singing for the housewives. You book more gigs than I've ever thought of booking. And I am a celebrity icon cabaret singer. Um, like
True.
you're literally everywhere. You're on TV. You're doing all of this stuff all the time. And how do you don't sleep?
I don't know. And we talked about this. Robbie over the break had me over and told me like sometimes you need to stop because I was literally working a full-time job and then backing up with another full-time job. I literally for months would be on the elliptical machine. I don't sleep anymore, Abby. Abby watches every week too, all the way from England. So I don't I book guests on my lunch break. I have no ego about asking you to come on. And if you say no, that's okay. Thank you, Mike. That's my bestie from way back in the day. And hey, Mike.
Oh wow.
Marie watches and hires me every single. She's the best. I ask everyone and anyone. I'm so interested in people. Do you know today Jerry Springer's coming on in March? Do you know that? Like I mean, I always was afraid that I wouldn't book a guest. But what happened was the quarantine show, the Broadway reunion show, gave me a whole entire library that I never realized I had. And people say yes to coming on because I'm persistent. I don't take no for an answer. And I hope that as word has spread, and I feel so bad talking about myself, Robbie, but as word has spread,
this is the whole point.
People have had good experiences being on the show. So their good experiences have trickled down. And there's a team of publicists that work with celebrities and a team of publicists that work with Broadway shows. All of your friends, Robbie, if you're BBB Way, if you're OMDKC or Polk or all my friends or Press Room that have let me be a part of this community. And it has been, thank you so much, Marie. I love you so much. And thank you. I've been they have supported me throughout this whole thing. So I can't do it without the people that say yes. But I try to book it in advance. I try to make it as easy as possible for the guests. Sometimes we tape things and schedule it around their availability. And we are a show that does not get salacious. There is no gossip, Robbie. It's only the gossip is reserved for your house. The gossip on this show this is a show about people watching, and this is a show that I look at this show as I am the viewer, and the catalyst is what would the viewer want to know, and I try to ask questions that I think people want to and make it as entertaining and fun and comfortable. It's not a gotcha show. I'm not Andy Cohen. I'm not Wendy Williams. I'm not coming to come for you. I want a show that's about art and love and supporting each other.
Yeah, you very much lead from kindness, so for the people who don't know how you and I met, you put out a beautiful album during the pandemic, and I didn't know you, but I listened to the album because that's something I do. I listen to albums, especially for like queer creators. I listened to it and reached out to you instantly because I connected to you. I think that you connect really beautifully to people. Abby's very upset that you're not Wendy Williams. But here's the thing, Abby. Robert Bannon still has a show. So,
see, Robbie does not follow the be kind rule.
I mean, I am kind, but there's always like a Susan of snark. But anyway, like your album was wonderful. And so I reached out to you and I was like, how can I help? What can I do for you? Because that's, something I believe in. I believe in lifting other people up. And that's how you and I started working together. Like we became collaborators this year. And we collaborated a lot this year.
A lot and more to come. Yeah. And what was so interesting is when I woke up the day the album came out, Robbie was the first person who posted the album on his social media and said, you should listen to I swear. First one I saw in the morning, I was in my bed. I woke up. It was release day. It wasn't the producer of the album. It wasn't the label of the album. It wasn't the people. It was Robbie. And he had a show at 54 Below coming the following couple of weeks. And I went to the show, never meeting Robbie, met him after the show, said, and in this world, a lot of people are going to have dinner. They're going to meet you. They're going to have a drink. We met at Robbie's house. And, you know, the shows that he came to my show and he gave the best, most honest advice, which was, you're a better singer than the show you just did. And you're funnier than the show you just did. And I took that to heart, and, you know, we created Rewind and stuff ever since then. So from now on, my creative projects with music or live events and stuff, it's Robbie. I deal with Robbie.
Stick around till the end, because we're going to drop some scalding hot tea. And listen, if you loved Robert all through this year, 52 years of this, which he does, again, by himself, often in his classroom when, like, his students are at lunch or is that or something, throw him some money on his Venmo, $52 for 52 weeks. Do it. Why not?
Like Sally Struthers.
Yeah.
You're like,
do you want to make more money?
Robbie, have you worked with Sally Struthers?
Vaguely, yes. Yes. We put out an album. We put out an album of the musical Grumpy Old Men that she was in up at Algonquin in Maine, because that's all she does now. She just does musicals up at Algonquin, like, all the time. So yes, vaguely. Hilarious. Also, someone just asked about the Midtown Men, and here's what I can tell you. Michael Longoria is a very, very good friend of mine who has 3 albums on my record label. So there you go. And Mike says, feed a child, send Robert 52.
Well, firstly,
why not?
I've asked Michael Longoria and we just never connected. So Robbie's going to ask Michael Longoria. Secondly,
we'll make that happen. Yeah.
Secondly, Mike Melfa, the money raised every single week on this show goes to this Venmo account that my mother has insisted that I ask for, automatically goes to promote this show. It does not go to buy my jackets.
Good.
Or haircut. It goes to promote the show. The more eyes we get on the show, the more guests we get on the show. So thank you for your support.
But let's talk about the numbers. Let's talk about the numbers, because you have created roughly an hour's worth of content every week, sometimes more, right? Because you started doing like the at-home lunch table
because of you
bonus. Well, not because of me, but because of me.
We did a Roundtable bonus show because I surprised Robbie with Debbie Wildman, who has a beautiful album, and he told me about it. And then people started asking to be on the show that I didn't have room. Our show started to be 2 hours long, and no one is sitting and watching me for 2 hours. So what we ended up doing was we created the Roundtable bonus, which is in addition to the live show, which is every Thursday. 52 weeks. We add 22 or 23 bonus shows. So we're a little over 100 hours worth of in here.
184 guests, over 500,000 views. You teach 5th grade.
Yeah.
Does that ever just make you go like, what? Read this. The Roundtable and Roundtable Talk celebrate art and artists. Robert's show inspires us, entertains us, and informs us all. Correct, Christine. Correct. Robert, I thought what we could do, I had you send me some of your favorite moments from the past year. And so I thought we would pull some of them at random and play a little clip and then talk about them.
Sure.
And I think...
Oh, God.
I think we're going to start with the weirdest of them all.
Congratulations, and how
see this here?
Happy lunch.
It's, you know, in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, do I say you're a hot dog, but you better not try to hurt her, Frankfurter? Here's a Frankfurter right here.
This just became my favorite interview of all time.
Well, you know, I've never done that before, but I'm hungry.
Told you. And neither have I. I mean, not on television.
He was hungry. He said, Abby says, what a moment. And correct. Barry was iconic. Barry was the moment. let's talk about how did Barry Bostwick end up on a Kid from Jersey's online talk show?
Scott Stander is a manager who represents Debbie Wildman, and is married to Rita McKenzie, and the whole point of Unfinished Business is that everybody has something that they want to do, that they're destined to do, and they're afraid to do. Robbie, when Robbie tells his story, wait till you hear it. Like his story, he comes from living in Pennsylvania, working at the bookstore, and now he runs Broadway Records. He's the A&R director for Broadway Records. When you think about there's something that you want to do, it all just kind of fell into place. So for me, I've wanted to do stuff like this. I've wanted to sing and act, and I used to moderate hosting my brother's football games and fake talk shows and stuff as a kid. And then it just kind of fell into place. It wasn't as hard as people make it out to be, because A, I love it, and B, I feels like it suits my personality in some level. So I just am good at, if I'm good at one thing, people can sing better than me, act better than me, but I really try to make a genuine connection with people. And I know that is something that I really pride myself on. God, this is obnoxious. My mother's going to use this as like a daily mantra for her, because she's seeing her son just talk about himself is like her dream come true.
You're welcome, Mom.
I just think that I asked Scott, Barry was touring with the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he said yes, he would, but it was in my classroom. It was during lunch. My kids went downstairs. Barry Bostwick got on in a broken down leather lazy boy chair, said, I look fine. I said, you look fine. I said, I have 20 minutes till I pick up my kids, and he picked up a hot dog. And I never saw Rocky Horror this day.
Yeah, so this is another weird dichotomy about you that I'm going to spill some... I almost swore. I'm going to spill some things about you right now, because like you famously have been on The Housewives, have never seen The Housewives.
No. I've interviewed so many drag queens. Do not watch Drag Race.
Never watched Drag Race. Wait, so what kind of research do you do when you get Barry Bot? You know what I mean?
There's a piece of paper that's with me. It's handwritten. It is all it is how many IMDb credits they have. It is where they grew up. It is their class, their school, their training, their famous movies, something weird about them and what they're promoting. Spill the tea, Robbie. That's it. That's my sister-in-law. And I thank you, Christina, the sweetest Bannon of all of us, because she's not blood related. That's performed in Music Man with Larry Owens. Never saw the movie. I still have never seen the movie. I just think that I try to do a lot of research. I try to have a lot of research, but it's also a line, Robbie, where you've hosted a lot of stuff. You have questions you want to ask, you have you want to make, but there's also something in being present and listening. And I went to acting school. I went to Meisner training. It's all about you say something, I see and interpret what you say, and then respond to that. And I hope that makes for a genuine interview. It's like doing a scene together.
I mean, you definitely are a Meisner trained human because you live at a Meisner 10 at all times. What's your relationship with social media?
At all times? I'm repeating.
All times. Great. What's your relationship with social media?
I have it. I'm amazed that as many people follow it. I post a lot because I feel like you have to. It makes me itch because I feel like it's a lot about my face, and it's a lot of selling the show and selling tickets and selling music and all of that stuff. But it's a necessary evil. I love seeing other people's.
Let's watch an icon talk about social media, shall we?
Being that peace and that joy, because we really can get stuck in the mud and all be miserable together, and then we all lose. We're all
easily on Twitter. I can go on Twitter right now and commiserate right now because it's a whole bunch of foolery going on right now. But let me tell you something. I don't even know what Ricky Gervais said. I don't even know. I just know that they talking about him and somebody else, and there's been some. I don't care. Nope. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I really am so peaceful in my thing that I could go online and be like, now y'all know this is wrong and he shouldn't have did this and said that and blah, blah, blah. Or I can have a V8.
Angelica Ross. Miss Ross is the most beautiful person in the universe. And
Stunning.
came on Pride. She came on for Pride. And when I saw her, and she invited me to a party after that at the Soho Grand, right? She was doing a listening party for a single. And I went up to her and she said, the V8. And I said, the V8. And I lived for Angelica Ross. It was one of my favorite gets. I was out to get Angelica Ross on the show.
It worked.
There
she was. And she looked stunning. I
Beautiful.
mean, come on. You had so many legends on this show. It's truly like, because, you know, I do research. So like I was looking back and I was like, how? And like, I'm going to throw up somebody now who was texting you while we were here discussing what this was going to be.
Bring her.
It's just, I can't get over this here.
If you would have said to me, we've been doing this show for a while, and if you would have said to me, who's the top person on my list of vocalist Broadway performers, Jennifer Holliday's, you know, that's top as you can possibly get. So thank you so much. Well, I was so excited to see it, and I was also so excited. You've been pretty busy, Miss Holliday. Like we were watching Fox this past few weeks. You may have seen this right here.
Miss Teddy.
Miss Teddy was unmasked, and it was you.
It was me.
How was that?
And you know, so you just basically, you know, you have a lot of fun, you know, and even though, but when they call my name, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, did they just call my name, Miss Teddy? Did they just say Miss Teddy going home? I started saying, and I am telling you, Miss Teddy ain't going nowhere, baby. Miss Teddy is staying. Okay? That's what I was finna say. Miss Teddy is not leaving. Okay? Miss Ringmaster is the one that gotta go. Okay? I'm starting to cut up in there. But since after the Will Smith incident, I said, okay, come on, sister. Come on, black girl. Calm down. Get yourself together. Let's not do a double thing here. Let's not attack the Ringmaster. She's just in a costume, okay?
You called.
She's just in a costume.
She texted me today. She's coming to Jersey in April. She wants to do an in-person conversation. She was so kind and so sweet. And I saw her in Chicago and we met in person. And if you told 12-year-old queer little Robert Bannon in his King and I t-shirt with his favorite movie as Funny Girl, listening to Dreamgirls, that he would talk to Miss Holliday on the show in his basement apartment in New Jersey, he would have told you you're out of your mind, because that doesn't compute enough. And the greatest compliments I got after that show was that she doesn't open up in the way that she did. It was the greatest compliment. We really had a good time together.
She was so comfortable, having the best time. That is your key to success. You put everybody at ease immediately. And I don't know if that's like years of being a teacher and suddenly like you just know how to talk to people. Probably. But there's something about that. Listen, you also freaked out when this happened.
More a pleasure. And we will be Jersey is rocking with Robin S. I know the country and the world definitely is. So when your ears are ringing, we're dancing to you somewhere.
Hey.
Get it. I'm ready. Thank you so much.
When you hear it, you know, you hear that. So baby, if you want me, you've got to show me love. You know, you just. Or was that the right key? Let me see.
Yeah, and you sing it in the right key.
Do I really? I thought that was too low. Let me see. Let me see. So baby, if you want me, you got to show me love. Oh.
You better sing it in the original key like you recorded it yesterday. That's it. Everyone watching, you better pay a premium for that, because that was live unplugged right now, right here in the morning, right smack in the morning. Original.
I do my best singing in the morning.
Original key right there. You're a pleasure. Robin S.
How many,
Robbie,
like, how?
Do you know how obnoxious firstly, Robbie, where were you when you heard that song? We were probably in 6th grade. And you know how obnoxious I've become, that obnoxious person. I was out at a club dipping and doing it on Sunday night here, living my life backwards, as my grandmother says. And Robin S comes on gay bars in New York City.
Sure.
And I text her and then if I say that to someone, they're like, what a pompous asshole. But it's become, this is, no, it's, I was in Vegas. We missed up our time change. She waited for me. You know, she's a perfect example of what my mantra is. When the song broke and no one cared after a while, she went on to work at a post office and as a receptionist in an office and stayed with it, and now tours. And I got to see her do the show live. Thank you, Brienne. Thank you so much. That's my ex-sister-in-law from my straight days. And goodness,
never forget.
So I love Robin S. And I love Christine. And Latte is supposed to be in Mexico and she's watching. So thanks for being here. She watches every week as well.
Like, that's the thing. You have so many dedicated people who watch every week. Here's one of them.
Months. She has said, do you know who would be a great guest? Nina West. Do you know who would be a great guest? Nina West. Do you know who would be a great guest? Nina West. And then I knew you were coming and I said, Abby, do you want to just pop on? You have a question and she is here backstage. Abby, come out. Hi, Abby.
Abby.
Hello. Lovely to see you.
Nice to see you.
She is our resident drag. She flies to the U.S., Andrew, just to see the Queen shows. She goes.
What's the most recent show you've been to, Abby? I'm curious.
Trixie and Katya.
Trixie and Katya. I love this accent. Where did you see them? What city did you see them in? Also, I will say they're two of the best. They're two, for anyone who doesn't really know the world of drag who might be watching us. Trix and Katya are two of my very favorite people in the entire world. They might have personas of like they're so kind and they're so loving and they're so nurturing and they're also just like really badass entertainers. So anyway, come on. Where city did you see them in?
Down in Atlanta.
Hotlanta. Yeah.
Yes.
She's warm. She's welcome.
How cute is my friend Abby Thompson, who's over there in the UK? Secondly, how fantastic is Andrew, otherwise known as Nina West? You know,
Nina West
putting out children's books to corrupt your children's minds and turn them all gay and into terrible people.
Guys, like, here's the thing. Of all the drag queens in the world, Nina West isn't the one to go after. You know what I mean?
Now, we have had some controversial drag queens on this show. We have.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to tell that story or is that for another time?
I mean, this person's PR person is very good to me, and we have some great drag queens coming on soon, like Eureka from Drag Race.
We're here. Yeah.
But so I don't want to.
We're not going to name
Sharon Needles.
We won't name a name.
And Sharon Needles.
Yeah.
Abby warned me.
But I mean, right?
Keisha Carr.
That bearded queen knows.
Keisha Carr.
Keisha knows.
Smash the windows out of your car. That is, you want to talk about premier New York drag? Go see the Keisha Carr show. Nice.
Oh yeah, it's killer. We have one other queen who's in your top 10. So.
Here, one of the stars, the legendary Miss Bianca Del Rio is here.
You know, the word legendary is always saved for somebody old. So I've had to embrace this now. I go, 46 and legendary. I haven't done a damn thing.
Listen, you are the hardest working queen in show business, for real.
But the grateful thing is I'm grateful to get to work. And especially after these past 2 years with COVID, it's like, you know, I'll take any gig there is. But
congrats. I was at the Amundsen for the first preview. I was dancing literally in the aisles. You guys are going to blow the roof off of Los Angeles.
Well, thank you. It's it's an amazing opportunity to get to do a show like this because normally I'm traveling with my own show, stand-up show, and our director Johnny B has just been amazing to me because this is the third version of the show that I've done. I was lucky enough to get to do it in the West End about 2 years ago, and then I enjoyed it so much I went back again, and then they asked me to be a part of the UK tour knowing that it would come to Los Angeles. So I'm just excited at this brilliant story about a boy in a dream gets to be told to an American audience live on stage, and we get to live it each night, which is just kind of so amazing because my roots were based in theater. So to get to come back to it and to get to be a part of this amazing talented cast, it's just a dream. It's unbelievable.
Well, there's no lip syncing in this show. You are singing.
8 shows a week. 8 shows a week. And also, a lot of the entire cast is from UK based that is being brought to America, has been brought to America. And this is their first taste of America. So it's been amazing to see their reaction to basically everything from the streets to a big gulp to a value meal at McDonald's. I've been introducing them to the world. Yes, I know. Same thing here. They are fascinated by all of it.
Well, be safe. Keep them out of not too much West Hollywood, Bianca.
Oh, no, I have an adventure there.
We've all spent time in West Hollywood, Robbie. Listen.
A little bit.
I love that Bianca Del Rio. I met her when we did the Everybody Loves Jamie original reunion. And then when they came on for the LA, just funny as can possibly be. Surreal.
She's brilliant. I saw her at Carnegie Hall. Sold out at Carnegie Hall. One of the funniest. I hurt afterwards. I was laughing so hard. Bianca's a genius. Also, used to be a costumer for Broadway. Built costumes for Elaine. She told me that Elaine Stritch used to barge into her costume shop looking for white button-down shirts to just steal them. No notes, honestly, perfect. And again, another person that you've never seen because you didn't watch Drag Race. So weird. We need to talk about your health choices though, because you are drinking McDonald's in the middle of the day when you're recording with Bianca Del Rio.
It's just a Diet Coke. It's my vice.
That's good for you. That's your vice.
That's it.
Listen, we've got a couple more clips.
I need to see them. I'm having the best time now.
Right? You were so nervous, and I was like, I'm a professional. I have an award somewhere, but I look like I'm in Hoarders, by the way, just so everybody knows. I know that it looks like Hoarders behind me. It is all scripts and vinyl from Broadway shows. Anyway, speaking of Broadway, let's talk about Stephen Sondheim.
How did you find Stephen Sondheim, or how isn't there a story to that?
Yeah, I can do it quickly. I went to a camp, a performing arts camp, and Mary Rogers, Richard Rogers' daughter's daughter, Kim Beatty, was there, and we became very good friends. And I was incredibly nuts about Steve's work, and I had the company album on a little plastic record player that I brought with me to camp and drove everybody nuts. And she said, "Oh, that's my Uncle Steve." And then when an ad came out for a benefit, people have the Scrabble album. That I don't know if people know that. It was the first real benefit in 1973. Right. And I wrote to Mary because the ad that they put in the Times said paid for by the friends of Stephen Sondheim. And I knew Mary was a friend, and I wrote to her saying, "He's my God, and can you help me get tickets because I only have $25? And she sent the letter to Steve, and Steve wrote to me. So, and then probably he regretted he had his return address on the envelope, and that was probably a big mistake. And I started writing to him, and he always wrote back, and he invited me over to his house for a chat. And he was really wonderful to me. And it was funny, you're watching I don't know how you felt, Danny, but watching just the promo for the trailer of Merrily Just Seeing Steve and Hal, and it just made me feel. They are so much a part of our lives.
I'm still not over it that they're not here anymore.
Yeah, it's just very, they were so vital and so alive and so
and so good to us. I mean, Hal was Uncle Hal.
I know, that's right.
To the very end.
And he loved you, Annie. I mean,
I loved him back. And
so
it really
much.
made you feel like part of the family. And Steve was like a big kid, during the whole marathon. He loved. He got excited. It was fun to watch him come into rehearsal. He was like a big old kid. He was having such the best time.
It's true.
Yeah, and so dear. And he's a wonderful mentor. And he mentored my son Huck.
That's right.
And he's just he really believed in young people. And to the bitter end, he was I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah.
Well, what I think has been, I hope that I don't think the love of the Broadway community and theater community around the world for both of them, giants, creative geniuses, I don't think that can ever touch the amount of joy and music and love that they gave to the world. And their legacy will absolutely live forever on theaters and stages everywhere forever. And you both are such an integral part in that as well.
Well, I know, Lonnie, don't you feel like it's an end of an era? It feels like we're now names in a history book in some strange way, but we get to keep the legacy going.
I don't.
That was a long clip for a reason, because at the end of it, Anne says, we get to keep the legacy going. And Robert, that's you. That's what you're doing. Have you ever thought about it like that?
No, when I was watching that clip and when Anne Morrison came on said she was coming on, and then Lonnie said he would come on, it was very near and close to when Stephen Sondheim passed away. And they were nervous about talking about it because they were afraid to get upset. And then when we started talking about it, they were so open and honest and so kind and generous to me. And I hope that this little show that was created out of our crazy minds is something that, keeps eyes and ears and thoughts and gets people to listen to music or see a show or movie or TV show that they never thought of. That gives me the most joy. And that means a lot to me, Robbie. That I never think of it like that ever. And that means a lot. And if you see Anne Morrison, if you see her one-woman show at 54 Below or anywhere, it's really fun and beautiful.
Incredible.
And she's just amazing.
It's incredible. Lonnie's a dream.
Yeah, he's no slouch.
He doesn't suck.
And Robbie worked with Stephen Sondheim. So go see Robbie's show.
I talk about it a lot. It's my only calling card. Well, because I did my show 3 days after Steve died, and obviously, we had to address that, and so, and I think we did all right. Who are your dream guests?
Well, Robbie, there's two people. They will never do the show, but I don't care. I want Manilow. You bastard. Yeah, I want Manilow.
Yep.
How did
he
you
writes
know that
the
was...
songs. Because I know you. Because we did a whole show that was basically just Barry's Vegas show.
Manilow songs. And I'm the only cabaret act that did a 15-song Manilow medley and then said, for my next song, I would like to sing another Barry Manilow song.
Yeah. Proud of it. Don't care.
Really, when I had Michael Feinstein on, I really wanted to talk to Liza. I really wanted to.
Yeah, I wonder if she would still do any talk show. Who knows? Who's to say? Listen, but you've had some incredible people on. Let's look at this classic clip.
I joked before, for many people, of my age and stage, I was obsessed with Borat. I was obsessed with it. You steal the show. I mean, I can't even imagine what it was like to be a part of.
No, you can't.
I can't.
That is the gift that keeps on giving. you know, to be at home one day, like the audition was wild, you know. They just wanted somebody to come in there and sort of dress like a hooker, easy. And then they wanted me to, I just wore what, you know, my regular clothes. And then they wanted me to like pretend like you're at a fancy dinner party and tell a wild story of your hooker stuff. And I did that. Now, this was pre-COVID. So during one of the stories, I took Sasha's hand because, by the way, I didn't know who Larry Charles, our director, was. He looked like Einstein or something. And I didn't know who Sasha was because I'd only seen him as Ali G. So, but during the audition, I took his hand and I sucked his finger. Now, I don't know if that's what got me the role, but everybody's sucking something in Hollywood, so I just had to suck a finger.
That's the cute. It's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Everybody's sucking something. Put it on a t-shirt.
Robbie, I worked so hard to get Lunel on the show. I was watching Nick before Nick Cannon had 63 kids. I was watching Nick Cannon's BET. I was watching his BET Christmas movie with Karen Clark Sheard and Kiara Clark Sheard and Nick Cannon, and Lunel plays one of the characters. And I Instagrammed it and said, "It's the funniest part of this movie." She reposted it. So see, Mike, see, that's it. It's a moment. And she wrote me back. I wrote her and said, "I have a show." And she was like, "One day I'll do it for you, I promise." So I was like, "Who's your publicist?" Wasilla Bennett. Hi, Wasilla Bennett. Wasilla Bennett. I send Wasilla Bennett an email, and Wasilla Bennett says she's not going to do your show. And I was like, "No, Lunel said she'd do my show." And I chased Lunel for about 4 months and got Lunel to do an hour, full hour interview with me. And I saw Lunel at Caroline's after that, and she sucked my finger. And there's a picture of it.
Listen, perseverance is key, friends. Perseverance is key. Listen, this is breaking.
Is there a Speaker of the House?
I lost a comment. Hold on. No, not that. This.
Don't even, Brienne Lugo.
There's the slightest chance I have a friend that can get to Manilow because the world is tiny, just in case. Brienne, I'm going to need you to come. 2023, Barry's going to come on, put on his face. Come on.
Is nasty to me. Oh, she's lovely.
Barry's publicist is wonderful.
I love her. He represents Lorna Luft.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Friends, I once replaced Lorna Luft at 54 Below because she got sick. And that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's my favorite thing I've ever heard. And Lorna Luft, I've asked to have on the show, and she has passed. And not away, just on being on the show. Well, and I told you it was going to be real. And
it's
so
messy.
Barry is doing Harmony, and I think that's our shot, Robbie. I think that's our shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you asked the question a lot. How are you feeling? Here's my favorite answer.
I'm here. I'm here for the post. I'm here for the truth. Tell the people, Amanda Seals. But aren't you exhausted?
Yes. I can't even do a morning call with my team without getting, pictures of Kanye and someone who I don't speak of wearing White Lives Matter shirts. I don't know where I'm at. Like, I feel like somehow like we've slipped into a new dimension. Like, are we in an episode of Lost? I don't. Is there a plane waiting for us? Like,
listen, I don't know. Oh, I hope that there has to be better days. I mean, I'm scared. Maybe there's not, but
in the historical breaking down and studying of this time, I wonder when they will identify the changing of the guard. Like, because it doesn't start with this guy who was in office, because he had to get in office. So it's before then. And I I feel like I feel like I can start it at when Obama got elected. Like that is when I feel like it would be that's what, because when they were burning effigies of Obama across the street from the White House and they were not stopped.
Yeah.
That was when I knew, oh, things is happening. Something is coming.
You know, Amanda Seales was the most polarizing guest we had. I had a lot of comments.
Really?
People who did not like a lot of the things that she had to say. I love Amanda Seales. I love Insecure. I love her. I love what she says and what she does on social media. But what people don't understand about Amanda Seales is that she's, you know, look at Ain't No Mo. Like it starts at Obama, at the election of Obama. She was explaining something that it took time for people to truly understand and see. And we're living in those times right now. And she was speaking about that before we all collectively understood it. So I think she's brilliant. I brought my friend Mike, who's about 6'3" and white and bald, to Smart, Funny, and Black at the King's Theater in Brooklyn. And we were we brought Mike. And Mike went backstage and said to her, she said, "What did you think of the show?" And he said, "Well, since we're your key demographics," I loved it. And but we had so much fun. Method Man was there, and we had this. It's surreal. It's all surreal. I love Amanda. I love Method Man because I'm really a hip hop head.
I haven't
tell you a Broadway album, but I can tell you about. See, Mike, and Amanda Seales. If you watch that interview, is so, in my opinion, spot on about this world. And I'm not afraid to talk about race, and I'm not afraid to talk about transphobia, and I'm not afraid to talk about homophobia, because as the host, I need to learn from you. And you know more than me as the guest, and I'm here to ask you questions. I can understand what you're going through, because the whole point is not for this cis white man to tell people how to be. It's to hear people's stories. And when you know people and you understand who they are and their experiences, you can't hate them. You can't judge them. You can relate to them. And that's what I hope the show does in some way.
You've definitely used the last 52 weeks to like create a platform to raise up marginalized voices, which is incredible. Incredible. In fact, here's the last clip I have talking about raising up some marginalized voices.
How did Strange Loop come into your life? Please tell me it did not start on a line at a club.
Yes, it's making its way. Yes. Exile gave you faggot. Ow. Well, I was leaving a club called, what's it called? The Ritz. No, the Ritz. And it was actually an all-black party at the Ritz called Bloom. Shout out to Oludabay. Hey. I was leaving, and then Michael Jackson, The Living, stops me, and he goes, "You're Antoine Hopper." And I go, "What the fuck?" And he goes, "You're going to be receiving an email very shortly, because the casting director, Miss Affolter, had your name on the list, and you were chosen." And bink, I go, "Oh my God, I have an email from my agent." He keeps talking. And I go, "What's your name?" And he goes, "I'm Michael Jackson, The Living." And I go, "Okay." And he goes, "And I have a show, and we start rehearsals for a workshop tomorrow." He leaves, and I read it's from Playwrights Horizons, A Strange Loop. They make it very clear that I'm filling in for Jason Veazey, who's out on an assignment, working, booked always. And it also turns out that Jason Veazey also gave them my name to put on the list. You talk about humility. You talk about being an artist of today. It's about integrity. And he hates when I say it, but I owe it all to, aside from God, to Jason Veazey. And so I filled in for him on 3 workshops, and I made it very clear that I'm honored to be here. And I always knew it wasn't my gig, and I would go to Mr. Brackett, and I would go to Michael, "Thank you so much. And, I can't wait to see where this goes." And then they surprised me, and they said, "You're not going nowhere. We're making it where both of you are in it. Jason's 5 and your Thought's 6. And I went, "Oh my God." And then they also surprised me and said, "You're Inwood." Because I wouldn't have cared. I was honored to sing the choral music and have a bass line, which which I love that Michael Jackson originally, that wasn't there, but he was like, let's sing it. Can you sing it down the octave? Okay, we'll keep it. I begged for it. I said, yeah, because I used to, how many minutes? No, how many minutes to the end? Yes, come on.
Crazy person. I love him. So that interview, please watch that whole interview. It is the
whole thing.
Antoine Hopper and Robbie and I have worked together. Antoine Hopper is putting out an album. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to. He was doing a cooking
Well, you just did.
He's doing a cooking show, and he wants to be interviewed and cook, and he asked me to do the series with him. So we're going to do 12 cooking videos together. And we're going to have a meeting. We're having a meeting, and it's all booked and set, and I won't say more. So look for it.
What are you going to, do you know do you cook?
No. I had a bag of salad from Target and for dinner, and I had like some grilled chicken.
Well, Trevor Project says it gets better. That's why you come to my place.
That Robbie cooks.
Because we
we
do. We both of us. Let's relax. So, wait, I think that you having a cooking show, that was
Because I'm shameless.
Give me back my show.
Nope. Literally,
I'll be there for you. How you doing?
Wendy Williams. That's
I
Wendy
get
Williams.
to play with all your things. Listen, so many people have been writing in about like people that you should have on.
I love it.
So many great things. And we have a question. And I think that we should start to talk about the future. So let's talk about 2023.
Sure. Can you talk about your Christmas album for release October? I mean, maybe it'll be October. Sure. I hope it's October. What songs do you have in mind?
Probably November. Like, as an industry professional, nobody listens to Christmas music doesn't sell until after Halloween. We all get angry, right? When we walk into a Dwayne Reed and we see Christmas stuff out. Right.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be November.
My birthday's Halloween. It probably would launch. It could launch right after it. We could have like a big Halloween birthday extravaganza.
Having done Rewind with you a few times, I know when your birthday is.
Thank you, Robbie.
Everyone.
You're welcome. We have a list. We started it last year. We will be doing it. I hope Robbie will produce it. I hope we put it out. I hope
that's happening.
So it's coming. Hang tight.
Yeah. And also like a live album.
Rewind was recorded, and we're gonna listen to that and figure out what we're gonna do with that.
And see what's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I think is most exciting for me personally is you and I have been talking, and we're going to do a duo show together.
You're a Robbie, and I'm a Robbie, and we're going to... We're Trouble together.
That's Robbie squared. That's I think we're going to call it Double Trouble.
And we're going to sing, and we're going to sing together and alone.
That's right. So, like, the ways you can find out about that, you could follow me.
At Diva Robbie.
That's right. You can go to robertbannon.com, go to my silly website. There's a lot of great things in the pipeline for you. 52 weeks you've done this. And in that time, you also started this. Which... You did the first one, Miles Frost. It was a huge success, and more down that pipeline.
Jennifer Holliday confirms.
What is your goal? Like, if on New Year's, like a lot of people were like choosing a word that was sort of their intention for the year. What do you think your intention is?
You know, that's a great question.
Thank you so much.
I think that it's not a word that would be typically used for me, which is balance. My goal this year was balance. It was after I worked my tail off, and I did every Pride in the universe, and I did concerts across the country and did this show and taught the 5th grade. And I want to do all of those things again, but I also need to figure out a way and a time to do it to keep myself healthy mentally and physically. And at some point last year, I felt like I didn't want to burn myself out. So I'm trying to do all the, I'm incredibly tenacious and incredibly unafraid. If I wake up and say, I'm going to make Miles Frost come to Montclair State University and talk to him like I'm James Lipton, I make it happen. If I want to do a show at 54 Below or at Green Room or anywhere, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do this show. But the problem with that is I never say you're going to take a nap. So I'm learning to balance this year.
I think balance is so key. It's truly so key. You know, we talked about it privately here because it was not, things were out of proportion. Like I could see it, you know, because, and I have to say, like, I'm so grateful for social media because it's how I found you. So it's truly the best, but it's also the worst. And like, you know, when everything is anxiety inducing all the time, finding like that balance is the hardest. I love that you said that you want to be James Lipton because I have an important thing that's about to happen. We're going to do the questions. What's your favorite word?
Love. Is that corny?
Love. No.
Love. Do you have index cards? Love.
No.
The hell is going on here? Okay, love. Yeah, love.
What's your least favorite word?
The opposite. Hate. Hate.
Do you feel that the opposite of love is hate, or is it indifference?
Deep. What are you, Hallmark? I'm
very good at this.
It's Socrates. I think that indifference it allows hate to live.
Okay. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
What turns me on creatively is the truth. I hate bullshit. I don't want to hear it. I want the truth. And it may be uncomfortable, and I may not agree with you, but give it to me. I want the truth. Creatively, emotionally, and spiritually is the question.
Yeah.
Spiritually is I'm a Scorpio, so I'm all about the deep, dark thinking. I'm an overthinker, and I'm definitely spiritually believe in something bigger than this. I don't think it was the way that Father Dan and my first Holy Communion necessarily taught me, but I think that there's got to be something better than this, and it gives me hope. And emotionally, I love communication. I like to check in, and I want people to know that they're cared about, and nothing makes me happier than when someone thinks to check on me.
You are very much a communicator, which I'm very grateful for. And then the next question is, what turns you off?
Woo! In a relationship or in life?
Unclear. The question is open.
Even though this whole hour I've spoken about myself, I hate fake and phony. Like I tell these stories about famous people, and people think like I could be obsessed with famous people and the stories that I do. It's a job and it is fun, but I know who my real friends are, and I know who my real support systems are. And I hate people that are braggadocious or make themselves bigger than they are. I don't feel there's no peacocking needed.
It is a job, which is why you should go to Venmo and send $52 for 52 weeks.
It still costs money.
It sure do. Next question. What is your favorite curse word?
And I'm going to say it. I don't curse in front of my mother, and I don't curse in front of my father. And they're both watching.
Okay. Hi, friends.
But I have a pooty mouth. I have a filthy mouth. And I curse often. My family wouldn't think so. And I think that, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. But I think motherfucker is a funny ass word. And that is the answer. Sorry, students.
They all saw it. They saw it happen. It's there in print.
Whatever.
This is so great. What sound or noise do you love?
I don't know the answer. I'm obsessed with music. I have been obsessed with music since I was a kid who would take his paycheck at his first job and walk to the Coconuts and buy a CD a week just to listen to what's new. And Barry. And I still listen to the top charts every week, and I still listen to new albums, and I'm obsessed with music and harmony. And I don't love singing harmony, but I love hearing it. It's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard, friends. What sound or noise do you hate?
I really hate, and it's a school thing and it's a life thing. I really hate when I have a hard time with confrontation, not to truth, but I don't like nasty confrontation. I can be nasty. But I don't like, students. I've seen a lot of students who have been very outwardly mean to one another, and that it breaks my heart. I can't live in a classroom or in a home or in an environment that makes people feel unsafe. So I think there's a way to talk to each other to understand, but I don't like nasty, unless it's fun.
So, housewives, what profession
Margaret
other than your own?
Margaret Joseph's
What?
coming on the show. Margaret Joseph's coming on the show.
Oh yeah,
this month.
we're definitely going to talk about we're going to do a shameless plug at the end of like all the people that you have lined up.
Yeah.
What profession other than your own, and you have so many, would you like to attempt?
I mean, I've done everything from work at a Dairy Queen to sell tickets to get Aretha Franklin Big Macs to being a school teacher. So to teaching and acting and singing and theater and all that. I've attempted this and I've done this before, but my goal this year, artistically, besides the albums and the talk show and the concerts, is I really want to get back to acting. I really want to get back to acting. I really miss acting as an art.
I think that's 2023, the year of Bannon. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
What profession would you not like to do?
I don't want to be a plumber. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I had a dirty answer, but we'll leave it after I just said MF around here. I don't. And I also know that artistically, I don't want to do musical theater anymore. I don't. I mean, unless you're Andrew Lloyd Webber and you want me to be Bad Cinderella, but I, which no one does. No, I'm leaving my comments to myself because I love that show. I want people to, I've never had a good, I haven't had a really great experiences at it. I don't feel like it's in my wheelhouse to be blocked and sing and dance and act and be micromanaged. Maybe it's the directors I had. Maybe it was because I never created, it was in an original piece, but it's not something I actively seek out. I pay my equity dues. I vote for the contract. I don't actively audition for musical theater anymore.
Sorry. Got it. No, why are you apologizing to me? I get the best of you. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Can I answer this in a roundabout way?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I got married in my past life, she picked a honeymoon to go to Hawaii, and I picked to go to the Oprah Live Your Best Life tour in Miami, Florida. And I paid to take my portion of some of the wedding gifts and pay to have the cocktail hour with Oprah, where you got to take a picture with Oprah. And when it ended, in my crazy mind, just like the show, I wanted Oprah to sign the pictures of me and my wife. And I sent them to Oprah's assistant, Amy. And Amy sent me an email and said, I'm going to have Oprah sign them. And Oprah sent me back this beautiful picture of the three of us signed, Manifest Your Best Life, well, nice to see you in Miami, love Oprah Winfrey. And then me and Samantha got divorced. And I had this picture framed in my house. And I was like, it makes me sad. I can't keep this picture up. So I went to the Kinkos, I cut Samantha out of the picture, and I sent Amy another letter, and I said, I got divorced, and now I can't use this picture, and will Oprah sign this? And God, Oprah, same thing. As the day I got divorced, I came home from the Jersey City courthouse, and I go to my door, and there's a FedEx envelope, and I take the FedEx envelope out, and it's the picture of me and Oprah, and she says, and it says, "Dear Robert, life goes on and gets better." And that's what I think. I think life goes on, and it's just going to get better and better.
I love that. Life goes on and gets better. That's a mantra. Take that to heart. All of
From
you.
Oprah. God.
From O. The
I'm
big
Oprah.
O. Okay.
I've never
Now
told that
it's
story.
time. I've never heard that story, so no. Now we're going to do this real quick.
Because I'm shameless.
Tell me, you've got some great people coming up. So year one's done. Let's talk
Yeah.
about year two. What do we have coming?
We have Margaret Josephs from The Real Housewives of New Jersey with Lexi and Mard Sr. We have Martha Wash, Disco Legend, is coming on to talk about the first ladies of disco. If you want to hear her talk about It's Raining Men and everybody, and CNC Music Factory and all of that. Fun. We have Evan Velez and David Simmons and Mario Jose, who are three great LA singers that are doing a show at the Troubadour. They're coming on next week. We have some of the cast of Between Riverside and Crazy, some of the cast of Kimberly Akimbo. Jerry Springer is coming. What is more exciting than Jerry Springer? Who knows who the hell is coming on this mess?
That's the best part, is like they truly come from everywhere. People are loving your story about the Lady O. And so we're just okay.
I could get it.
You've had so many people who have helped make this possible, and this is your moment to shine a light on them.
Thank you, Robbie. Well, firstly, I couldn't do this without Robbie and his husband, Len, who had me in their house, who have helped me through all my little existential crises throughout this process. And I have to give a giant, oh my goodness, it's me. I have to give a big, giant thank you to everyone who creatively has helped this show. Kyle Ball created all this graphics and every publicist, every manager, and every agent, and every person who came on and shared their time. Time is currency, and we don't have a lot of it, and they share it with me means a lot. But this primarily goes out to a very small handful of friends and family who support me every single day through all my peaks and valleys. I tell my mother and my father that I am a roller coaster. Like, my life is a roller coaster. They have taken the ride with me, and I can't thank them, my brother and Christina, and my parents and my cousins that I live with, who watch every single week, to my family and to all of my friends, and to every single person. And there's a crew of ladies who are such beautiful, wonderful supporters of this show. So that's Lattes, that's Abby, that's Christine, that's Marie, that's the people that watch this religiously no matter what. My Sam, my Mike, my Adrian, thank you all for what you are. And to everyone who has sent money, sent a comment, sent a like, sent a share. You make my dreams come true in every area, selling out concerts, buying my music, and joining me every single week. As an artist and as a human being, I think all we want, Robbie, is to be seen and to be heard. And Ellen, and you make me feel that way. It is beyond my wildest dreams. I am 39, and at 33 years old, I had none of this. I had given it all up and put it away. So from me to you, it's not too late. Take a step, and the path will follow. And that's truly what this show, I hope, inspires everybody to do.
I can't think of a better way to end this. Here's to 52 episodes.
Cheers.
And here's to so many more. Thank you all for watching religiously. It's so wonderful. I never dreamed, sitting on my stupid couch, that it would get this big. Oh, and somebody says, don't forget your sports career.
Gus Penaranda runs the New Jersey Pride Chamber of Commerce, which I'm proud to be a member of. Had me sing at the Devils game last week. Was a part of that. Thank you, Gus. Oh yes, hockey, basketball. And I'm a jockey for the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, I play bocce, and I'm an Olympic swimmer. We had Greg Louganis on. You know, Greg Louganis asked me to go rollerblading with him.
And you didn't?
No.
Wait.
I can't go rollerblading with Greg Louganis. Can kick my ass, and
that's money. Like, come on, marry that.
No. He has a partner. And he wanted to go rollerblading and have brunch. And I said, can we just have brunch? Rollerblading. Go rollerblading, Robbie Rozelle.
I would like to watch it.
You come to Venice Beach.
No, yeah, I would sit. I like a camcorder as if that's still a thing. Friends, thank you all for spending every Thursday, the last 52 Thursdays, and some lunch hours with Robert. Robert, thank you for everything that you do, not just for me, but like for this community that you've built. It's really been a very special, beautiful thing. I'm so proud of you. I cannot wait for the rest of the year. And that's how we're closing out. I'm gonna play the credits and we're gonna fade to black. Thank you all.
Best is yet to come. See you all real soon.
Best is yet to come.